Welcome to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller, the podcast. I'm joined by Seth.
Hey, welcome, guys. Thanks for finding us on the internet.
Now, these shows originally aired on Brookings Radio, but now they're all here for your enjoyment. I hope you like it.
There you go. Sit back, enjoy the show, relax. Let us know if you want to see anything on future shows. As we said, this comes out live in the Brookings area, but enjoy this archive episode.
Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Welcome to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Wooden Legs Brewing of Brookings recently celebrated their 4th anniversary. They're now taking the next step to produce more beer and, perhaps by this fall, have their beer available in bottles. Head brewer and Wooden Legs co-owner Seth Cook.
We are so excited about this, and we always seems that about every 6 months we have some project that just gets everybody on staff just borderline giddy for talking about it and what we're doing. And this one at least has taken a cake this year, if not at least for the last couple years. What we've started to do is we've listened to our customers as we always have, and people have asked us to make more beer. We need your beer. We want your beer. We want to see it at local bars. We want to see it at local events. You know, honestly, up until this point, we just haven't made enough. The tanks here are really designed and have done well to service the tables here. We're just not big enough to do
Almost
that.
all the beer you make is sold right here.
And we've done a couple of events. We've done a couple of things where we've sent little kegs out to other places, and that's been awesome. But we really haven't had a real practical approach to how to get our recipes and our beers into other people's hands. So over the last year, we've been looking for opportunities and ways to do it. And one of the ways to do it is to take our show on the road, if you will.
And now they've started making some beer at another brewery.
I liken it a lot to, I've got a really good chili recipe, but I've only got a 2-gallon chili pot at my house. And if we want to throw a Super Bowl party, we're going to invite more friends than that. So I need a 10-gallon chili pot. It's still my recipe. It's still how I do it. It's still, it's still definitely my ingredients and what it is.
You need a bigger pot.
We need a bigger pot. So what we've done is we interviewed and we talked to a number of breweries in the region that had bigger pots. And what we came down to is that over in Marshall, Minnesota, Brow Brothers, which is, what such a great local beer is just they were maybe even the granddaddy of a lot of beer really in this region, at least. After speaking with them and kind of, interviewing and collaborating and discussing, we found that they would be the ones that could help us replicate our style at a scale.
So they're now also brewing some beer in Marshall at Brow Brothers.
Have now the capacity to take our beer, our ingredients, our recipe, kind of our way of doing things, and make enough that we can actually make enough beer on their chili pot, if you forgive the reference, and be able to distribute it. So we're just starting this week for that first batch of this beer to be distributed to the I-29 corridor. Now, there is a bit of irony, though, that it is brewed in Minnesota, but it is not served in Minnesota. It is only served in South Dakota.
Because you distribute only in South Dakota?
Only distribute only. That's part of the nuance of the law. It is our beer, so it's not Brow Brothers beer. They don't have the same availability to go send it to the cities or anything else. It is made for us, by us, and for our accounts here in South Dakota. So what we're hoping to do is hope that people, hopefully people get to try our flavor at their local places.
More on the latest endeavor from Wooden Legs, including just what beer they'll be distributing. And Beer Untapped continues in a moment.
There's a revolution rising, no more pasteurizing. Beer don't need to be shipped across the nation. Every town needs a butcher and a baker and a brewer. Welcome to the craft beer revolution. Welcome to the craft beer revolution.
Welcome back to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller as we announce the latest effort from Wooden Legs Brewing of Brookings. To increase their capacity and expand their distribution, they're now brewing some beer in Marshall, Minnesota at Brow Brothers. The first beer they've brewed in Marshall is a pale ale.
We wanted to really embrace the fact that this is a beer that we've made and that we've worked with one of the industry, an industry expert in our region, to really make it available. This beer is designed in a small town, a very small town of Brookings, South Dakota. It is brewed in the small town of Marshall, Minnesota, which is even smaller than Brookings. And we've really designed this beer to be enjoyed by small towns everywhere in between. So we've called this our small town pale ale. And the brand really kind of reflects our commitment to the small breweries, the independent breweries, the craft breweries, even the micro and pico breweries. So you're going to be able to start seeing small town pale ale on draft lines, in the region. And very soon, this is what's really cool, is very soon you're going to start seeing those in bottles because, of course, over in Marshall, they have a bottling line that we don't have here in Brookings. So we got to take this and put it in bottles, and hopefully you'll be able to find it at the liquor stores and gas stations and your convenience stores and other places.
One of the flagship beers at Wooden Leg since the beginning, Split Rock Creek Pale Ale, of course. The new Small Town Pale Ale is similar.
The beer itself is designed to be appreciated by people that are into the craft beer scene, but not alienate anyone. It's a self-portrait of kind of who we are at Wooden Legs Brewing. It's a well-balanced, it's an American beer with definitely some British inspiration. So it's a pale ale in name. It's got some more caramel malts to add more of a red hue to it. It's definitely still a pale ale, but it's got a little bit of a copper hue to it. And we use a blend of some of our favorite hops. And of course, we use our house yeast here that we've been known for having here in Brookings. So it's easy to drink, meaning it's not super hoppy, it's not super malty, it's not super boozy. It's made to go well with the other 4 or 5 beers that you still have left in the 6-pack. Enjoy the whole 6-pack. It'll go great with food.
He sees it as a great way to introduce small towns to craft beer and to Wooden Legs beer especially. It'll be quite a day for Seth when those first 6-packs of his beer come off the bottling line in Marshall.
It's kind of fun. We've already have the first 3 6-packs are spoken for that come off the line. The first one goes to our business partner Steve, who's out at West Point. The next 2 go to the other 2 owners, and then the next 6-packs actually go to our staff that has worked so hard to do this. And then there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of 6-packs after that, so don't worry, we'll have a bunch.
Plenty to go around,
but the first ones are going to be really pretty exciting to give away as gifts. And it's been 4 years we've been doing this, and we talked to the guys in Marshall, and the reason that the Brow Brothers worked out so well is we've developed just a kind of a collaboration relationship with those guys, and they've said they've been here before. They've said we like what you're doing, we like how you're going. It is just a quick hour drive across the border here, and they brew and have a lot of the same methodology and thinking and appreciation for craft beer.
Seth says they'll probably be making some other beers in Marshall in the months ahead as well. That's it for this week's show. Until next time, drink local and drink responsibly. Thank you for listening to this archived edition of Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Feel free to listen to other episodes, and if there's anything you'd like us to talk about on a future show, please let us know. Thanks again.